Last night, at least 19 Russian drones flew into Polish territory, crashing mostly in the eastern regions.
Wykonywały zadania.
They were carrying out their tasks. This was not an accident, it was deliberate. Now, it will be necessary for authorities to assess the credibility of the information we already have, and at the same time figure out what to do next. If one or two drones had violated our airspace, it could have been some kind of error. However, the sheer number of drones indicates it was a deliberate act of provocation. It appears that at least some of the unmanned aerial vehicles were Gerberas, a Russian-made version of the Iranian Shahed drones. The Russians used the Geran and Gerbera systems to attack Polish territory, which, in my opinion, meets the criteria for activating NATO Article 4. The security of the Polish state has been violated, and therefore the Polish side should consult with its allies. These are drones that are capable of performing combat tasks. These drones don't just fly around to annoy people. Their main task is to lure air defense systems, drawing fire and the air defense systems onto themselves. In Ukraine, they fly in groups with armed Shaheds, and they draw the attention of Ukrainian air defense, so that air defense has a smaller chance of hitting an armed Shahed. So far, there have been no reports of the drones being armed with real warheads, but that does not mean they cannot be dangerous. Gerbera-type drones, which are decoy drones, are equipped with a kind of explosive, whose purpose is to eliminate small groups of people like, for example, sappers sent to disarm or dismantle the wreckage of other drones. This is undoubtedly a test of the entire air defense system to see how it will work, when and how quickly planes will be scrambled and weapons will be deployed. The trajectories of the unmanned machines may indicate that the drones could have been flying towards Polish cities. According to experts, the Kremlin's goal may have been to test Poland's air defense and NATO's response. The operation of defense systems, the entire communication scheme, the actions taken by NATO, the time it took to achieve readiness of forces, and the means to respond. This is part of continuing Russian operations aimed at NATO, whose entire purpose is to probe the space of operations below the threshold of aggression, below the threshold of war. This is an escalation meant to cause destabilization. We are dealing with a kind of escalation of aggression. First, one drone, then more drones, without warheads. After some time, if there is no adequate response, they could send armed Shaheds. So we can see a consistent pattern of escalation on the part of Russia. When Russian drones intruded into Polish territory, the decision was made to destroy the unmanned aerial vehicles. They were neutralized. We will not discuss the numbers at this stage. The matter is still under investigation. The system was very overloaded, but all subjects which, in the opinion of the operational commander of the armed forces, pose a threat to security were attempted to be neutralized. This isn't the first such incident. A few weeks ago, Russian drones crashed in Poland's Lubelskie and Podlaskie regions. All this illustrates that Poland does not have a comprehensive anti-drone system. I am glad that the Polish army reacted. I am disappointed because it had to use aviation. It is not economical to use aircraft against drones because it is simply very expensive. But this is because we do not have our own drone detection and destruction systems, so there has undoubtedly been negligence in this area over the last several months. Poland's previous government, which was in office until late 2023, purchased the anti-drone system known as Sky Control. Today, this system's status remains unknown. This system has not only been underutilized, but, as I understand it, it has been removed from the borders for political reasons, even though it was supposed to be tested for effectiveness. It is not a particularly expensive system. Therefore, Poland now faces a difficult task: quickly building a system to combat unmanned aerial vehicles. We do not know what the future will look like, but Russia's past actions give us a clue. The Kremlin, smelling blood in the water, will keep escalating until either it is stopped or a full war breaks out.